I'm Nick Roloff, and we are doing a Miami Dolphins Q&A here on this episode of Dolphin Day, answering some of your questions surrounding off-season on the Miami Dolphins. Before we get into some of these questions from our Tuesday live show, make sure you are today's show. You can always ask us a question over on IG, whether it's on our post and reels. Dolphins Today IG is our handle, WE, post form content photos, other stuff as well between our videos here on YouTube, so if you want all-to-all 365 coverage on the Dolphin, follow us on Instagram. First question coming from Eskier. 1. Do you think wide receiver Kieran Lacy will go to jail? It's the wide receiver from LSU. I like this wide receiver Golden in the third. Couple questions here. We'll answer of them. 1. I don't want to say anything about Lacy until I know the full, but I will be honest. It does not look good for Kieran Lacy at this. We'll let the facts come out of the situation. We'll let the justice system do its job. As things currently stand, I probably not take the risk of drafting Kieran Lacy in this upcoming draft. I don't think he's talented enough to warrant risk that would come with him. So I am kind of out on Lacy. When it comes to Glenn from Texas, I think he's ultimately going to go in the first round. Receivers always get drafted higher than they probably should be. I see a lot of draft experts already start to talk about Golden being one of the top wires in the draft. I think I saw was Daniel Jeremiah put out a tweet earlier this week that said, I just finished the tape on Gold. He's my number one wide receiver in this. I wouldn't go that far. I would still have it be T. McMillan I think he is the best wide receiver in this, but it's a weak wide receiver group. I think Golden may go way higher than did in the first round or early second at bare minimum. I just think that kind of price point for me will be too high to draft him in this, so I don't think Golden will ultimately be in for Miami. This go around, Anthony, what are your thoughts on this? He resigned. Jevon Holland draft. Malaki Stark and Kevin Winston. Malakis are strong. I don't know who that is. And I don't know who you're talking about. Malakis. I know Kevin Winston. He's the safe Penn State. Kevin is free. Jevon is Rover. All right. So I'm a little confused. Oh, you're saying gotcha. All right, I think I got this now. Jevon Rover is the free. Malaki Starks is the I got you. I got you. Right, we're good. No. Listen. I do not think that both of them will be drafted. If you bring back Jevon Holland, I think you only draft one safety in the first two of the draft. And I think both Kevin Winston and Starks will be in the first two rounds. One, I think Starks is going to be top 15 because I think Miami at 13 might be as far as Malaki Starks falls. Kevin Jr. out of Penn State, I really like 5 safety, and probably put him either 3 or 4. Him Ramsey from USC is probably in that range. Have Xavier Watts at number 2 at this in the process. I think Winston's going to be a second round, be early third round pick. And is it worth me drafting 2 guys in the first 3? If they sign Jevon Holland, if they didn't sign Jevon Holland and they just drafted Winston, right? Maybe we could have a conversation about that. But with Patrick M. Morris coming in the draft as well, after being 6 last year, I expect him to be your 30. So if you bring back Holland, you're probably drafting 1 safety. If you don't bring back Holland, maybe you have 2, but I'd probably sign 1 veteran free, AENC draft another in the first rounds, and then have McMorris be safe for 3. Thanks for the question. It was actually a pretty good one. Just took me a second to realize what you're asking. Be honest with me, do you trust Chris Grier as the GM of the Miami Dolphins? I have a pretty decent feeling about how you would feel about this. Let me know. Do you trust Chris Grier? T for trade, or D for don't, or trust Jesus? With a question, how do you feel about them drafting? 8 rattled out of Georgia, or Tyler Booker of Alabama, or both interior offense here. I'll talk about Tyler Booker because I like him a lot more than Ratty from Georgia. I think Booker is ultimately going to become a first-round pick, and he is, I think, worth being a first-round pick. If he fell to the second, I would do everything in my power to trade up and draft Tyler Booker. The thing with the interior offensive line is as big as of a need as it is for the Miami Dolphins. You also have to realize in the grand scheme of the NFL guards are one of the least